Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Church with a Two-Drink Challenge.
Everybody ready? We're going to swing. Hey, Leo. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome to the church with a two-drink minimum. Welcome to the church with a two-drink minimum. We are interfaith, interspiritual, God optional. So relax and get ready for a celebration. Welcome to the church with a two-drink minimum. One more time now. Welcome to the church with a two-drink minimum. Hey, human!
We doggies. We have to keep the doggies in there. It's an important moment.
Hey, everybody!
How are you? I know. How's your end of July festivities?
Oh my goodness!
Where it's about to be August, y'all.
It is. It is about to be my birthday.
Oh, and I was gonna say, do you know what that means around here?
It means my birthday month.
I know. It's actually her birthday month lasts for 60 days because there's the pre-month and then there's the post-month. Just so you know.
So, actually, we are not here today. We are in Vermont.
Of course we are.
Beginning my birthday celebration.
I know. It starts early. Lasts all month.
So we wanted to join you via video today, and we're so glad you're here. Thanks for everybody in the sanctuary.
We've got a really good message.
We do have a good... So this is... I need do nothing day. This is my theme. What I'm taking away from the message.
We had a really lively discussion this week.
We did. I'm really, really thrilled about it and happy to share with you.
We're at chapter 18. This is like, I was saying on Wednesday night, it goes, y'all are here on a special night because we're doing chapter 18. This is the second week of chapter. We're doing the chapter. This is peak Course in Miracles.
Oh,
peak Course in Miracles.
Oh, that's cool. Why do you say that?
Well,
how do you mean that?
Well, the way I understand, the way I teach Course in Miracles is there's half the book is moving away from what you don't want. Right, okay. You're realizing it's like, oh my gosh, I've been doing these things, and just like I've been creating. How do I, And she says, I got a journey. You want to go on a journey?
Right.
So you meet your mighty companions, you meet the teacher, and she leads you to the altar of your heart. But you're generally moving away from. It's like what you don't want.
Right.
The trauma and dissatisfaction. After 18. Because it's only 31 chapters. Only 31 chapters. So after chapter 18, it's a pull to do what is yours to do.
Oh,
so that's why the chapter 18 is the peak, because I call it going down into the mountain and teaching your truth.
Oh.
Teaching the truth. You come up to the mountain and you discover, you open. It's like, oh my God, you went into the secret temple on the top of the mountain, and you met yourself.
Yeah.
And you met yourself and you said, oh, I have endless energy to do this thing. And it's like yours to do. And it's like you're compelled and your whole life sort of revolves around what NTI calls your purpose. And what I call what you're here to do.
Yeah, I love it. So just so you know, Glen is really deep into reading and studying NTI right now, which is so great because it's influencing, again, both of us, and so we're both reading NTI.
Truth is truth. So these things go together. Yeah. So I want to tell you about the lessons that we've been doing.
Wonderful.
Because this is also kind of the fun time of A Course in Miracles, because we were in a review. We're kind of in we're in a kind of a long review, what I think of as a long review. And she's the thing that they say the most in A Course in Miracles. I mean, you think it'd be forgive yourself and forgive others quickly, right? You think that if you were going to have anything that would be said the most in Course in Miracles, it would be forgive yourself already and forgive everything, quickly. But it isn't. It's, I am not a body.
I am free.
I am free.
I am still as God
Right.
created me. Still.
It's like, no matter what you do, been pounding it, been trying to convince the world that I'm not what I am for like 58 years now. The world is still not buying it, Okay, so it's, if you've started, this will be back, let's roll back. This is Sunday, so let's roll back to Thursday, where she gets on this roll where we're going to end up at this lesson where I'm going to teach a little later.
Cool.
I'm not a body, I'm free, for I'm still as God created me. Lesson 189, and it's a review, so it's 189. It says, I feel the love of God within me now. So already she's building this, the word she's building upon this idea of the life within. I feel the love of God where? Within. So where's the focus? Where would you want your attention to be? 210. I am not a body. I am free. I am still as God created me. I'm not a body. I'm free. I'm still God created me. You say this all day long, and in the middle, every once in a while, you remember, I choose
the joy of God instead of pain.
So then she's contrasting. Okay, so pain is outside, and love of God is inside, where you want to be. Come inside. I choose the love of God instead of pain. Pain is not satisfying.
Truly.
Pain isn't interesting.
Wow. Okay.
For very long. What does it say?
Well, it says, pain is my own idea. It is not a thought of God, but one I thought apart from him and from his will. His will is joy, and only joy for his beloved Son, and that I choose instead of what I made.
So the kind of question we ask around here is, who's in pain?
Yeah.
Might be able to help the distance from help me understand that the pain I experience, or the uncomfortableness or my anxiety isn't me. I don't have identity. She's asking you to take the identity out of the pain.
That's good.
Right.
Yeah.
So then 211 comes along. I'm not a body. I'm free. I'm God's created me.
I'm still as God created me.
You turn the page and you're still as God created you.
Because the review is, I am the Holy Son of God himself.
It's like, there's literally no separation.
And I love this prayer because, I don't know, I've been spending a lot of time in the quiet, and it's just beautiful. So this says, in silence and in true humility, I seek God's glory, to behold it in the Son whom he created as myself.
I know, so where's God's glory?
Inside.
And where would you recognize it?
In each other.
So she's realized she's taking you from, she's contrasting like love, pain, and holiness is something that you share. Right. So then she moves on to, I'm not a body, I'm free, I'm still as God created me. I'm not a body, I'm free, I am still as God created me.
I have a function,
as we are here today.
God would have me feel right here, right now, today.
I have
a function.
I have a function God would have me feel. I seek this function that would set me free from all vain illusions of the world. Not the vain, like seeing the world for my own benefit. It's there for my own benefit. Only the function God has given me can offer freedom. Like freedom from what? I don't know. How about the vain illusions that you're trying to make true?
Right.
Only this I seek, and only this I will accept as mine. Right. The idea again is choose what is satisfying. Choose is actually what's putting us forward. So we look within, we create and we learn, and we look within for that instruction, which leads us to
this beautiful, fun song that I used to sing in Bible school, Sunday school, growing up. But we've changed a couple of words, and I think we're going to have fun with it.
Sing along. You probably know this.
I'm sure you know it. 1, 2,
1, 2, 3, 4. This is the day.
This is the day
That love has made.
that love has made.
We will rejoice
We will rejoice
and be glad in it.
and be glad in it.
'Cause this is the day that love has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day. This is the day that love has made.
What's next?
Truth.
Okay.
This is the day
This is the day
that truth has made.
that truth has made.
We will rejoice
We will rejoice
and be glad in it.
and be glad in it.
For this is the day that truth has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day. This is the day that truth has made.
Oh, one more. Let's do one more.
All right. This is peace.
Peace. Yes.
This is the day
This is the day
that peace has made.
that peace has made.
We will rejoice
We will rejoice
and be glad in it.
and be glad in it.
So this is the day that peace has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day. This is the day that peace has made.
Back to
Now
love.
let's review. This is the day. This is the day that love has made. That love has made. We will rejoice. We will rejoice and be glad in it. And be glad in it. For this is the day that love has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day. This is the day that love has made.
Yay! Did you sing along? I hope you sang along. Did you march around did you march around the room? I know. It's
I love
okay.
that
You
song.
can go get your cookies and milk now.
I love that
Refreshing
song.
your drink, maybe.
Yeah. Oh wow. Sorrel tea, everybody. Yay.
Smash a pineapple today.
It's lovely. All right, so let's do our breathing.
We got peace
And
underway,
bellowing.
and we have love underway, and we have peace
And
underway.
truth. And truth. Peace,
Place
love,
within.
truth. Here we go. Yes. Today, as we gather here in this Awakening Together sanctuary with all of our family, our community, we co-create together this circle of unconditional love. We celebrate love. We celebrate peace. We celebrate truth. All of these qualities are within us already. And in this circle of love, we know and we trust and we allow everything that we like and everything that we do not like, and it does not disturb our love, our peace, and the truth of who we are. Today, we know we are held by that which I call Mother, Father, God, sacred mystery. Blessed be, and so it is.
Oh, beloved, you are mother and father. You are friend and companion. You are riches. You are wisdom. You are the eternal divine guide. Twameva mata, chapita twameva. Twameva bandush, chasaka twameva. Twameva vidya, dravinam twameva. Twameva sarvam, mama deva deva. I was sinking in despair, far from the shore, feeling sorry for myself, sinking to rise no more. But the mighty Mama Deva heard my cry. From the waters lifted me, now safe am I. Love lifted me, oh love lifted me. When nothing else could help, love lifted me. All my heart to love I give, ever to grace I'll sing. In this presence daily live, ever to faith I'll cling. Love so mighty and so true merits my soul's best songs. Faithful, loving service to all life belongs. Twameva mata, chapita twameva. Twameva bandush, chasaka
Yeah.
That song's really dear to the Love Lifted Me is really dear to both of us because both of us grew up in that. I don't know. That might be like my earliest memory is my mother humming that.
Oh yeah, it's such a
It's an old song. It's an old song. Older than my mother.
It is. It's a really old song. But I love how it folds into Twameva, O beloved, you are mother and father, eternal divine guide. Your love, truth, and peace lifts me.
When nothing else,
When nothing else can help. Yeah, exactly.
So we're always emphasizing around here, do what's practical.
Yeah.
Do what works.
Yeah.
If it's uncomfortable, it's like there's a reason for that. Blocks the awareness of love's presence. How willing are we to be present with our own upset, or our own ignorance, or our own fear, or getting it wrong, or stumbling, or deciding to go, check out or watch, watch your brain. Don't there's a way of like saying I can't stop this from happening, so I'm going to watch. Obviously I've lost control, so I'm going to watch my losing control. I'm going to try to be as aware as I can of not being able to stop myself. Even that is like will give you benefits. So we're going to talk about that tonight. So talk about this is Peak of Course in Miracles. She's going to give you the method today.
Oh, cool. I need do nothing.
I know. What's the message?
That's
What's
the method.
You don't do anything. That can't possibly be. No. I want to learn a new method. I need to learn Pali. I need to do all those things. Right? Okay.
I need
do nothing. That's what she's trying to tell us. I need do nothing. And so the image I used for this is have you seen the Zen circle? Like that Zen circle? It's very cool.
Well, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, it's the circle of love, because it includes everything.
Right, and so the idea that this Zen circle is like the inclusion, the wholeness, and the completeness of nothing has to change. It's wholly complete in and of itself, and it works in and of itself because it is its only whole thing. It does not, it's self-generating, all of this. So we find ourselves, chapter 18, the passing of the dream, right? Peak of Course in Miracles, the passing of the dream. One way of looking at the world is leaving, and another way of looking at the world is dawning on us. Yeah. And the idea here is in section 7 called I Need Do Nothing. I know, so we love this. We had a good time. It's a pretty good. So why don't you read the parts I've highlighted for you?
Here we go. I need do nothing, and it goes like this. You still have too much faith in the body as a source of strength.
I'm not a body. I'm free. I'm still as God created me. I'm not a body. I'm free. I'm still as God created me.
This makes the body an end and not a means in your interpretation.
New idea.
And this always means you still find sin attractive. Atonement is not welcomed by those who prefer pain and destruction.
I know. She goes, atonement is not welcomed by those who prefer pain and destruction. You may not enter here, right? Faith
funny.
Is this is just, we're laughing because it's so recognizable in our lives. We're laughing because it is so recognizable in our lives. It's faith in the material world. And the attractiveness of trying to move around the deck chairs on the Titanic, the attractiveness of dealing with symptoms rather than causes, the attractiveness of wanting the shape and the feel or the location of something to be different and have that mean happiness or whatever. It's the faith in the material world. And the request is to, there's an easy way of getting out of this dilemma. It's an easy way to get out of this dilemma. First, the issue goes, examine your motivation. Oh, examine your motivation. So you're using the body as an ends, right? A place to get to, the end, the destiny, right? The body as an ends actually is the goal of pain and destruction, as she tells you about, right? Because what is the project of trying to look better and feel better all the time? What is that project really? She goes, if you look at it, if you look at the motivation of trying to nail down and control your feelings and nail down and control the physical world to feel better and look better, what you feel and what you look upon, how you present and how you look, and the world, how you experience the world, is nothing but a recipe for pain and destruction. Its goal is pain is destruction because you believe yourself to be something that is actually decaying and dying right before your eyes.
I was just going to say that.
So it's painful.
Yeah.
Or you could use the body as a means.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is just typical, the means is atonement. The reason to realize in a body here and now, I'm not a body, I'm free, that I am at one and totally and wholly complete Zen circle. I'm that. That's me. Mm-hmm. Recognize yourself. The obstacles fall away and you know that.
Right.
So using the body as a means, the Course in Miracles says, is actually exactly what all this stuff is for. So you show you the atonement. Because they show you what is true. So what using the body as a means, as a tool to get there, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like saying,
get
right
to the understanding of the atonement. Okay, the practice.
To really to be yourself, to be who you are. Says the Course in Miracles, you don't know who you are. So who are you? This is the peak. So to know. So what are you doing? What are you trying to know, or what is the means that you're using the body or the material world for? To know what is. To share what is. Right, what is real? So the Course in Miracles is always asking us to look at what is true. What is true doesn't go away. So what is true is what we can work with. And she asks you over and over again, only share what is true. So what is true is what we share. So always be looking for what we share. Our goodwill, truth, love, joy. It doesn't become difficult when you look at the motivation. Like, why are you doing anything? To look at the motivation for what it is. And if you're using the body as the goal, or any material condition as a goal, you're off mark.
Right.
It's it just doesn't. It does because it doesn't work, not because you're bad, just because it doesn't work. Mm-hmm. So read this next bit.
You have not utterly forgotten the body. You have not utterly forgotten the body. You are not asked to let this happen for more than an instant.
Yeah.
And every instant that you spend without awareness of it gives you a different view of it when you return.
Okay, she's giving you method, and she's giving you a promise. So this is cool. And she's pointing out how powerful your attention is.
Right.
So either your outward focus out on the world, trying to manage the symptoms, or your inward focus. You're looking within, where you have cause. You're not asked to lay down the body and forget about it more than just once, because if you practice doing that and you realize it once, when you return, when you look back out again, which is our habit, we're going to do, the world suddenly changes. Because we have changed our relationship to it.
Yeah.
So the request is and this is counterintuitive, the request here is to forget about managing the material world. Yeah. It was here before you, it'll be here after you, and it works, all by itself without my, focus on making sure. The example I always give on Wednesdays is one of our one of the gals that comes a lot, she grows tulips in her backyard. And I said, do you have to go out every spring and make sure that the tulips come up? And she goes, no, they just come up, right? So I don't have to go out and monitor, you don't have to monitor the world to make sure it keeps working. So, but this method is to do this again and again and again. To drop away and to realize I'm managing and wanting to choose a material solution. To just wake up and I did it again. Just wake up and move back to the focus one within, just to do it again and again and again. And she goes, this is the mind that is in practice. This is the mind that is motivated. This is a mind who has a goal and is looking and choosing thoughts according to whether or not I want them or not. I value them or not. forget managing the world and begin to look within and manage choosing your own thoughts and return to the thoughts of God. And that's how we know what is ours to do. When we look within it, goes, oh, I know what to do in this situation. Oh, I know what is mine to do. Share the love of God, teach peace, right? That's what we learn in like chapter 5. The promise is vision. And isn't that what we want? Vision. And of course, miracles is like seeing clearly. Yeah, I know what everything is. It's just like, I know what everything is for because I listen to the voice that tells me, right? You have vision, from belief to knowledge, the creation, the movement from belief to knowledge, to see and you will see the world differently the more you practice not identifying as a material object or trying to create solutions out of managing bodies through space.
I've been practicing.
I know
it's and the morning meditations are really
helpful.
Helping.
Love your consciousness.
Helping. Yes, love your consciousness. I really want to thank Rhoda and
for facilitating
facilitating Monday through Friday.
We are big beneficiaries.
We really love it. So anyway, the next section says, at no single instant does the body exist at all.
Okay, she's going to get really metaphysical on y'all, and we need to stay with us.
I totally love it. At no single instant does the body exist at all. It is always remembered or anticipated, but never experienced just now.
Okay.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. In any single instant, the attraction of guilt would be experienced as pain and nothing else, and would be avoided. It is impossible to accept the holy instant without reservation unless, just for an instant, you are willing to see no past or future.
Okay, she's leading through you this thought idea. Are you following?
Mm-hmm. I am, and I like it. This course does not attempt to teach more than they learned in time, but it does aim at saving time. It is extremely difficult to reach atonement by fighting against sin. Woo! This has been our big lesson for like this year. It is extremely difficult to reach atonement by fighting against sin. Nor is a lifetime of contemplation and long periods of meditation aimed at detachment from the body necessary. Now that's an interesting statement that she says.
And the word is
necessary. Yeah. But I love.
Okay.
It's extremely difficult to reach atonement by fighting.
We're going to talk about. Yeah. So this is really about saving time. Of course, you're saving time because there's no past and no future. You're always saving time because
time doesn't exist. Like the way we think about it.
It's only used to think about it linearly, so we could have bills and stuff like that. I'll meet you at 5:00. Right. It's useful. Right. So the reminder is that the body exists solely in the past, right? Because the reality is the reality of what's going on in your heart, right? If the out here is already the effects of the seeds we planted here, what's going on here, according to my heart, not necessarily physical place, this idea of the altar of the heart, in my interior, though within, she says, if I'm focused there, that's where reality is. That's where all this is happening from, and so the body and all of the material world is in the wake of the holy instant.
Oh, I love that. In the wake of the holy instant. Yeah. Wow. So
if you can think about the way to change anything isn't to start messing with form, it's already done. So, it's all, the cake's baked, y'all. That's not the place, it's not where you can change it. It's only can be changed within. Okay, so the body exists only in the past, and the judgment, and she says, judgment keeps our attention on the material conditions of things. I want things differently, right?
Sure.
So the world and its attractions are actually imaginary, and they do not satisfy. They're imaginary because it's already the ripples in the pond. You can't go chasing after the ripples in the pond and ask for any of that to be satisfied. Only the work we do in this togetherness is satisfying. Only the presence and full instance of God is satisfying, and that's where she's leading us. And she says this is promising to shave time. your belief in time. She's going to talk about this too. So this is the willingness to see no past and no future, just the willingness. And she said over and over again, you just need an instant here and there, and it'll be so convincing that you won't need anybody else to like beg you to try to be present anymore, because it's really that good of a payoff. Because we do transactional at the very beginning of things. So it's just it's the request, and so she gives us a warning here to place awakening, to remember to not place your awakening in the future.
Right. Oh, wow. Yes, for
you
sure.
practice and one day you'll be good. So don't place your if you're awakening, you're feeling good, or things are going to get better in the future. Believe that they can happen now. Release is given the moment it is desired. It is fully accepted because it's always going to be a choice. That's how powerful you are. That's how autonomous and how much integrity that you have. It's difficult to fight your way into heaven.
I would say it is.
But she says it's possible, but it is the scenic route.
To fight your way to heaven is possible.
You can. It's called the dark arrow path.
Oh, okay.
It's to go through it, through absolutely wake up through suffering and realizing that the earth is awful. Yeah. You wake up to the glory of God.
Right.
It's the scenic path. So it's difficult to fight your way into heaven.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, and do not use your practice as preparation for a better future.
Yeah, I get that.
And this is an approach and an attitude she asks you to have about the rest of your life. We're going to get to that. We're at 8. She's going to ask you to keep this idea with you. Do not practice or preparation for a better future. The better future's here, right? Already. Yeah. Do not practice as approach. This practice is an approach. It's an attitude and an aspect that we approach our practice and when we're with people and what we do. And she goes, please do not make rote ritual or transactional out of your practice. If I meditate for 30 minutes, I'm a good person. If I meditate for an hour, I'm a better person.
Right.
I'm better. Don't make your practice transactional, and don't make it a ritual or rote. That means your body's doing it, but you're like, you're off at Disneyland.
Right.
So you're looking good. It's all a performance. This ritual and rote means it's just a performance for other people. So she, pretty good. You need do nothing.
Yeah.
Right. Not even learn a practice, get a practice specifically and perfectly well.
Right.
Okay? Not even that. Keep going.
Your way will be different, not in purpose, but in means. A holy relationship is a means of saving time. One instant spent together restores the universe to both of you. You are prepared. Now you need but to remember you need do nothing.
Oh, there it is. So this is the method. This is I need do nothing. She goes the method, and she goes, your way will be different. And so this is the method. This is called your way. This is your way. This is the way you do it.
So by saying your way will be different, she means it's your unique path. Correct?
Yes, but it's going to be through doing these, to doing it this way. So your way is going to be
different than the world's way.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
But it is. You have a function here. God is a function. Yeah. I have a function that God would have me fill.
Right.
It is to be my space in the
thing.
And I'm just specific for it at this time in this place to all of it. And I can't get it wrong. So be conscious doing it. Let's do that. She gives you the method. This is your way. And she goes, always be means. Always be creating. Never an end. Never be an end. Right? Because that means something's dead or it dies. It can die and end.
Oh, okay.
Never be an ends. Always be a means.
Huh.
Realize that you are always in a holy one. You're always be means too. We're going to go over this again, but in a different way. 2 more times. But so the first is always be a means. Never always be creative. You realize that you are always in a holy relationship. whether it's the voice that likes you or your practice community or all beings, right? Realize you're always in a holy relationship. And the third thing is you need to spend time in this holy relationship together in your fully being fully present and fully authentic and fully vulnerable, because that's how you get the teaching.
Yeah.
Inside of practice community, where there are people, everybody's goal is the truth. I want the best for you.
Yeah.
You want the best for me. And even though we might be bad at it, that goal carries us through that we learn and grow together. Right?
Wow.
Because you help practice, you practice picking me up when I fall, and I practice picking you up when you fall. And when we fall, we get up together and figure out how we can work together and express this oneness of love that we are. That's what we're doing. So I made a note. It's okay to struggle. She makes this very clear. It's okay to struggle, but realize that you just delay. And you can delay. And she says at the beginning of the instructions, the time you take is completely voluntary, but the curriculum isn't. You can even choose the order. Okay?
Right.
So she's asking you to take time if you'll do it your way. And so the reminder is, this is the method. Holy relationship, be present. You're always in relationship, and prove the truth is true, or follow the truth teaching. Let truth be your guide. Let goal of truth be your guide. So this is. I mean, if you've been listening to me at all, you've heard me say these things. This is like a lot of
this is what you say a lot of.
I say a lot of.
Yeah. Cheers.
I know. Yeah.
All right. Here is the ultimate release, which everyone will one day find in his own way, at his own time.
Oh.
You do not need this time.
I know.
This is the special means this course is using to save you time. Practice doing nothing else. I need do nothing is a statement of allegiance and truly undivided loyalty. Believe it for just one instant, and you will accomplish more than it is given to a century of contemplation or of struggle against temptation. Wow. What a liberating moment that is.
It can be.
Yeah.
But she goes, you can struggle. You can struggle and push against temptation.
You can struggle to be human if you want to.
Long live the struggle, right?
Yeah.
So this is the ultimate release. And the release is from illusion, right? From not staying correct to vision, to the reality that what you have and all of this is here. Everything is as it needs to be, and everything's all right. And the promise is you'll be excited about that. That'll be something interesting. That this present moment and all the love that it's showing you is interesting. That you have something to do. It's compelling. And the promise is you don't need to wait for this attitude. This method was made to wake you up as quickly as possible if you'll do it. When? All the time. Which means as much as you can. Remember, if you want to, what's your goal? Can you be present? Oh, I can be present. I'm always in relationship. Yeah, I'm always in relationship. What would the truth have me do now? That's that's like that's easy. That's That's simple. The way it's simple. That's what she goes.
Not necessarily easy.
Maybe not easy sometimes. I know. And then watch yourself when you struggle. It's all part of the thing. So, because this is going to take you time, but because she gives another warning, and you will not be surprised by this. The warning is the temptation to learn lots and lots and lots of different methods.
Well, you said it right there, to learn, like intellectually.
Guilty,
Yeah, you look at all these books, y'all.
I know.
Y'all should see.
I have got methods. I can give you method. So, read this next bit.
Okay. To do anything involves the body, and if you recognize you need do nothing, you have withdrawn the body's value from your mind. To do nothing is to rest and make a place within you where the activity of the body ceases to demand attention. And this is the very reason why those morning meditations are so
helpful.
effective and helpful to me right now.
And it's like a cat demanding attention.
Oh, what? Your body or your
the
mind?
body,
Yeah,
the
your
body,
body
noticing the demand.
It's like our cat
Like,
demanding
well,
attention.
my cat, maybe, maybe you've got the perfect cat. I'm sure you do. So all she's saying here is the way to approach this idea is to just withdraw the body's value. Okay, that's easy, right? The value. It's bringing me what I want. No, it isn't. You can look at it. It's not satisfying. Withdraw the body's value, and you begin to see that the material world is demanding your attention, and it wants to be manipulated and worked with, and something's wrong, and your judgment is out here, and your attention lies on things that need to be changed. Okay, so the temptation is to use your powerful attention and to use your powerful creative abilities to change physical objects in the material world. And that's not the solution.
Oh, right.
It's just not. It doesn't work. You have to learn to manipulate what you want, to work with what is from what is true, and that is from the altar. That's from the altar of your heart, where we are all one. To operate, to orient from that aspect, that practice, that perspective. So the promise is, if you get good at this, it equals centuries of efforting.
Yeah.
She's selling it. But it's true, though. If you do this, then judgment ceases to have its appeal. The ways of the world just aren't interesting, right? And she says, this is the door out of time. If you've ever felt like you didn't have enough time, or the door out of time is to be present with what is in relationship and participate with the truth. And that's the door out of time. The Holy Spirit will help you remember. And the Holy Spirit even remembers when you forget. And will tap you on, if you get better at it, the more quicker you come back to it, right? And this is, she calls the peace within. It's outside of time. It is not concerned, not that it doesn't know what's going on, what the body needs. I didn't say any of that. Not concerned with the activities of them, but not concerned. I'm not concerned by them. They're taken care of. Everything's good.
Oh, yeah.
Actually. And she goes, know that within place, where the body is not disturbed and outside of time, is where Holy Spirit abides. That's the purpose of chapter 18. Where does Holy Spirit abide in you? Where's the truth in you? How do you live from the truth? And then she gets to this is what the altar call.
Yeah.
And there's like four or five sentences here. I want Yolanda to read them straight through. This is beautiful. Her big pep talk, and really just lovely.
Okay. Yet there will always be this place of rest to which you can return. And you will be more aware of this quiet center of the storm than all its raging activity. This quiet center in which you do nothing will remain with you, giving you rest in the midst of every busy doing on which you are sent. For from this center will you be directed how to use the body sinlessly. Ooh. It is this center from which the body is absent that will keep it so in your awareness of it.
This is like I was telling Yolanda, so I may call this the manual for the body. This chapter, no, right. I'm not a body. I'm free. I'm still as God created me. It's like, what is it? What is the material world? Okay, we are always choosing our thoughts.
Just this line is
Sure.
just so beautiful.
Sure.
You will be more aware of this quiet center of the storm than all its raging activity.
Center of the storm.
Wow.
So eye of the storm.
You're more aware of the quiet than all the raging activity. Boy, that's such
Where's
a
your
wonderful
attention?
promise. Yeah.
Not outwardly focused,
Mhm.
inwardly focused. Inwardly focused actually gives you more information about what's out there than actually putting your attention out there.
Mm.
If you want to do what works, instead of believe in the fantasy and illusion and the promise of the material world that it's going to satisfy you in anything. It cannot fulfill those promises.
Mm.
So we're choosing our own thought. We're choosing the thoughts that we want to pursue and believe and try to make true. We're always trying to convert belief into knowledge. And the knowledge that you're a physical object is never going to happen. That's why it's just suffering. We're
Right.
always choosing our thoughts. We are conscious co-creators of what is. So are the all beings. Okay, the all beings is what creates. All beings. Either we're consciously creating with all beings, you make that a grand statement as you like, being conscious of what the thoughts that you were choosing, or we're monitoring bodies through space. We're looking, we're watching, we're trying to stop things from decay. Some things stop decaying, and other things decay faster.
Mm-hmm.
Realize where we're the motivation, where we're applying this solution, and the method is called "I need do nothing," and she tells you why. Because we didn't create this moment ourselves. We did it with the togetherness. I didn't create this now, and I did not create, nor would the world need me to maintain it. It is a reflection of a, tiny mad idea, as we say around here.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be, which in my book makes it art.
Mm.
So I live from this altar of my heart. If I don't have to take care of the world, I don't have to be concerned with it. I can live from the altar of my heart. I can live from the truth. I can live from the present moment, which is actually the creative force in the world, in which I share the Holy Spirit. I share what is real with all beings. This exchange of what is in this connection, beautiful network, and ever fully expressive, creative sense of joy and presence that we are, I am. I'm beautiful and bountiful, blissful.
Yeah.
The method is to be present to what is.
Right.
Now that's like whatever it is. Be present to what is. Don't look away.
Mm.
Practice your authenticity, your presence, your vulnerability, and your trust in that everything's working together for you good. Your way of being, your way of standing up, your way of being able to manage being present with what is and not running away the very best you can. And then you'll try again later when you can't do it very well. We'll do it better. We'll get better. We'll get better together. In fact, I'll help you get better. And I'm going to ask you to help me get better at being present with who I am and letting the world and you share that with you, the love I have with you. And the last thing is to practice the teaching.
Yeah.
So, to do what is true, pursue what is true.
Mm.
And notice when your solutions are material, because the material world is always a means and it's never an end. The world doesn't need to be taken care of, and that we are constantly and only ever and forever co-creating our experience. And remember, that what is to be done is to participate with what is to participate with what is, and what works. Right? It's here. It's within our heart. So I'm Reverend Glen Morton Ganaway, and you're at Church with a 2-Drink Minimum.
Cheers!
This is the love of my life, Reverend Yolanda.
Wow. I love that lesson. And
we were back and forth on Wednesday. What do you mean?
I loved it. No, I
It was very
love
fun.
this. This is so cool. And bring up my chart here.
Okay.
I had a very strong intuition to sing this song, so I'm going to sing it. It's by Cyndi Lauper. You with the sad eyes, don't be discouraged, for I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it all, and the darkness inside you can make you feel so small. But I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. Your true colors are beautiful like the rainbow. Show me a smile, babe. Don't be unhappy. Can't remember when I last saw you laughing. If this world makes you crazy and you've taken all you can bear, just call me up, because you know I'll be there. And I'll see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. Your true colors are beautiful like the rainbow. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. Your true colors are beautiful like a rainbow.
I know. I love that.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
I know.
Have a great
We're
day.
really glad you're here.
And we'll be back live with you next Sunday. Bye.